I remember thinking, like, I feel like I'm going to die right now. Like, I don't think I'm going to make it past this day. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Asia. If you're new, if not, what's up? So today I have decided that I'm ready to kind of talk about my, experience and everything that's happened to me with this past year. And I honestly didn't know if I was going to ever share like everything in its entirety, just because I'm not a very open person by nature, but I feel like I'm beginning to lean more towards that way. And I don't know, my YouTube channel so far, it's very surface level, and I just like to talk about makeup and just stuff that I enjoy. And it's very like a scratch of the surface, I guess, like about me and who I am as a person. And I feel like it was pretty authentic to who I was. But I just feel like with everything that I've endured, everything from like this past year, or it's just, I'm not completely 100% that girl anymore. And I don't want to start already. That's still me to the core, but I just feel like there's so much more to me now. And I can jump right back into the makeup and act like everything's good, and it might work out for me that way, but I just don't feel 100% like that is Asia. And things have definitely changed. I feel like this is the best time for me to kind of talk about everything, just because I am turning 25 this month. I just feel like major changes are I just feel like major changes are coming my way, and this is the best way to prepare myself for that. And I feel like if I'm true to myself and kind of treating this platform as like an open diary for me, that, I don't know, it's definitely gonna help me, I feel like. But you never know, it could be also helping someone else if they come across this video. Just me sharing my experience and just everything that I've gone through. And yeah, I just feel like it could help somebody, I guess. And I typically am not vulnerable. I like to keep things light and airy, and that's just who I am as a person, I guess. But I did do like I did kind of put myself out there by putting it like on the internet. And it's kind of weird to just like say like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going through, and just never say what happened, because I was literally going to do that and just like keep on with my regular kind of content, like just here doing makeup and hair and whatever else I feel like doing, that's where you don't really know me as a person. But those aren't the kind of people that I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching people that, you know, that are very honest and open and transparent. And, you know, there's a reason why I watch people like that. So it's like, why wouldn't I want to see that within myself as well? So let's just get into it, I guess. I'll just start from the beginning. You know, I really saw everything as, you know, I split it up into 3 different things. You know, I was sick, I went through treatment, and now I'm recovering. So I don't know, I feel like it was just easier for me to break it up in those 3 categories and not really go in depth and just kind of, you know, brush it off whenever somebody's asking me like, oh, how are you, and stuff like that. I don't really give too much detail. I just say like, I'm good, like, yeah, I'm just going through treatment right now, or like, I'm good, I just recovered, so I'm kind of just chilling. Like, those are my general answers to people. And I feel like I make light of the situation like a lot, and I don't really give myself the credit of what I actually went through and, you know, just how hard it was. And I don't know, I feel like that's not helping anybody. Like, honestly, it's not helping anybody. It's not making it seem easier. It's not, I just feel like, I don't know, it's not helping anybody. So I'm just deciding to be very real, very honest and raw. I am very sensitive about this subject, so if I cry, just ignore it. Like, see, like, I feel like you can't get through darkness without, you know, you have to be the light to get yourself through the darkness. So that's why I kind of laugh, or like I joke about it, or I just keep it, you know, very surface level, because, you know, I am trying to be my own light through my own darkness, and it's kind of tricky sometimes. But yeah, so my life before, you know, in 2018, I graduated college in December, and I was kind of feeling, I was very active in the gym, and I was going to the gym pretty much every single day. So I feel like, you know, that was, if this was my path, that was like really preparing me for what was about to happen. Because if I wasn't as active as I was in the gym, I probably wouldn't have noticed so soon that something, you know, wasn't right. So you know, I was just feeling like I was getting very tired easily. Like, I'm sorry if I say like a million times. I was getting extremely tired very fast during my workouts. Like, I would be like, this is annoying. Okay, I was getting tired very easily. At the beginning of my workout, it felt like how I would usually feel at the end. So that went on for about like 2 weeks, and I decided that I needed to go to the emergency room, just because I felt like in my back, like there was like a bone sticking me. That's like the only way I can describe it. Like, in my back, it just felt very uncomfortable. So I just went to the ER literally like at midnight. I had my mom take me, and they told me that I had bronchitis or whatever. They said they did some x-rays, my lung was inflamed, and that I just had like bronchitis or whatever. So I went on for about, from December to like February-ish, like, oh yeah, like my bronchitis is just, I would say like my bronchitis is acting up. like whenever I would have that feeling, they just gave me pain meds. They didn't really do anything. They didn't do anything to treat the bronchitis. They just gave me pain meds to help with the discomfort. And it was just literally ibuprofen 800s. Terrible. But yeah, so I was just going on for months just thinking like, you know, it's just bronchitis and my lung is still inflamed, but you know, it'll go away, it'll resolve on its own. And towards the end of March, one day I just, you know, I woke up, everything was fine, and I just like felt something in my throat, so I was just coughing to like kind of clear it and get it out, and I started coughing up blood, and it was just like, this is odd, like what's happening? So my little sister went to urgent care with me, and we sat there for a little bit. They thought I had some like weird, they were being very cautious because I said I was coughing up blood. So they did like some x-rays or whatever. It turned out that I had a pulmonary embolism, which is like a blood clot that was in my lung, and they like rushed me to the hospital emergency room. Yeah, so I had a pulmonary embolism. They gave me blood thinners, sent me home, and so I was taking that for about 3 months. They said it will resolve on its own, like the blood thinners will make the blood clot kind of, you know, it would get thinner and it would go away. I had increased shortness of breath in June, so I ended up going back to the hospital. They did some more scans, and the doctor came in and he was just like, yeah, well, you have like a mass on your other lung. And I was just like, what? They were like, we don't know if it's cancerous or not, like it could just be a mass of cells. They didn't really know what to do, so I did 3 different biopsies. They were all unsuccessful. I did a biopsy where they like cut right here, which I mentioned on my channel before. They didn't get to it. They didn't do anything basically but give me a new scar. The second biopsy, they put me to sleep and they stuck like a tube and a camera down my throat, and I guess they hit something and I started bleeding into my chest, which made them they medically induced me into a coma after. So yeah, I was in a coma. I think I was only in coma for like a day. Still very scary, obviously, for my family and stuff like that. But I just remember waking up in kind of handcuffs, like not handcuffs, but my arms were like strapped to the bed. I didn't know what was going on. I woke up, I was alone, and I was kind of just freaking out a little bit. I had multiple doctor's appointments in 2019, and like with everyone, nobody could tell me what was going on with me, so I was getting very discouraged. I remember one time I left the doctor's office, and of course I waited until like I got into the car, but I was just crying. And I remember just after, you know how many times I've went to the doctors so many times and nobody could tell me what was wrong with me. Nobody had any idea. So it was very discouraging for me, because it's like I'm going through something and it's like nobody's helping me. And I remember this one doctor's office specifically, like I got in the car, I was very quiet, and as soon as I got home in my bed, I just kind of broke down because it was just discouraging. It was like I have no control over what's happening to me, and I feel like nobody can help. So that was really hard. I went through another like surgery biopsy in August again, and I got like this terrible, like I have 3 terrible ugly scars on my side, and it's like there for nothing because they didn't get what they needed. And that's when I kind of feel like, you know, I really have no control over what's about to happen to me, and I just have to, you know, take it, deal with it. I just felt very lost, and yeah, that was a terrible time. So there was this one doctor, I felt like he was very invested in helping me, you know, figure out what was going on. He ended up referring me to go to a doctor at UCLA, and I feel like from there everything kind of changed. So in September 2019, I met my surgeon, and you know, I had to go through more tests, and they performed a biopsy, which was like not invasive at all, and they were able to get the sample that they needed to be able to tell me what was wrong. And it was just ridiculous to me that like it was something so simple and it took this long. So it's kind of like bittersweet. But the end of September, finally got diagnosed. Honestly, at the time, I didn't care what they said was wrong with me. I just needed an answer. So like whatever they said, I was just gonna take it and, you know, be grateful that, you know, I know what's going on with my body. So when the doctor came in with the results and she told me that I had cancer, I was in the room, I was by myself, and like I just had so many emotions. I couldn't even, like, after she told me what kind of cancer, I kind of tuned her out, and I was just, you know, the first thought was just like not even about myself. I was just like, how am I supposed to tell the people closest to me, you know, that I have cancer? Like, I just felt like I was gonna be delivering like I felt like I had to deliver terrible news to like the people that cared about me the most, and that was just not fun, because I feel like I'm a person that, you know, I don't want to be the reason somebody is upset. I don't want to be the reason why, you know, someone's day is ruined or just anything like that. And, you know, when you hear that you have cancer or that somebody you know has cancer, it's just like uncertainty just overcomes you, because it's just like, you know, it can go either way, honestly. So yeah, I was really just thinking about how I was gonna tell, like, what I was gonna say to people. Obviously I, you know, like, I don't like to be open around people, so my doctor even asked me like if I was okay, because like she told me, and I was kind of just like, okay. Like, I said okay, I smiled, I was like, thank you for letting me know. And then she was just like, do you need somebody to talk to? Are you okay? But I really just wanted her at that point to just leave the room, because I was going to start bawling. Like, as soon as she shut the door, like, all the tears that were welling up in my eyes, they just fell and they just wouldn't stop. I didn't call, I don't believe I called anyone on the phone because that's a hard conversation. So I think I was just sending out like texts for people that were like waiting to hear. And yeah, it's just hard getting news like that, and then you're like in the room by yourself, even though like my family was on the way and stuff like that. It was just hard, because that's something you never want to hear, and then hearing it and you're alone, and it's just like you just have your thoughts. So it was really hard. But I am glad. I mean, it would have been nice to have someone there, but I'm glad that I was alone, because I got to feel my emotions very raw, and I didn't really want anyone to see me like that anyways. So I ended up I got diagnosed, and it was like after that everything like took off immediately. Like, I was I had several doctors come in, tell me like, treatment plans, and they were trying to figure out if they wanted me to do chemo, if they wanted me to do radiation, if they wanted to, like, they didn't know how to go about it yet. So it was just like a lot of different teams of doctors kind of talking and just seeing what was my best course of treatment. So I ended up starting my first round of chemo on September 27th in 2018, and I was honestly very scared, because they told me, I was getting the strongest chemo that they had, like the strongest mixture, and I didn't know how it was going to make me feel. They went full force. Like, they gave me like a very high dosage the first time, and I was nervous just because like one of the chemos was like this orange color, and I remember just watching it through the IV like come out from the bags and like through the IV and like enter my body. I thought I was gonna feel something very strange. Like, I don't know, I didn't know how it was gonna feel entering my body. I didn't know if I was gonna feel pain. I didn't know if I was gonna instantly be nauseous and throw up. I just didn't know what to expect, because like it's very new to me, and I just didn't know what to expect. But I went through chemo, and it was very tough. I feel like the chemotherapy was probably the toughest part of my treatment, just because I was in the hospital 5 days at a time, every month, which seems like a little, I know, but like going through it, it felt like years. I just felt very tired. Some days I didn't want to talk. I was just in my head a lot, because like I literally had nowhere else to be, and I just remember thinking like, I can't wait till this is over. I can't wait to just have my life back and stop living out of these hospitals, and recovering from what I just went through. And it was just really hard, honestly. It was very trying, and yeah, it was just hard. I was approaching my last round of chemo, so like I was very excited to be done. I felt like I conquered something. Well, okay, so after my first round of chemo, they told me that I would be a little bit nauseous and to just like, you know, stay hydrated. But I did not expect to go home, or I went to my grandparents' house, and I remember the day after I got discharged, I was just very tired, and I was very nauseous. So like I remember that whole day I was just throwing up like every 20 minutes. That's the most I've ever threw up like in my whole entire life. I remember it was like, it was like every hour I was throwing up, every hour. And I didn't want to drink anything, I didn't want to eat, I was just tired. I would wake up, I would be sleeping, wake up, throw up, and I just go back to sleep. Like it was very hard. I remember just like sitting there, like, because I had no energy to even reach over and grab my bottle of water to drink, and it was really hard. Like I felt so weak, I felt so not, I wasn't present. I just felt like, literally I felt like I was watching myself from like outside of my body. Like I wasn't, like, nothing weird like that was happening, but I just felt like, you know, in my head, I was very in my head. So you know, I'd be sleeping, I wake up and I throw up, and then I just lay back down feeling like so beat up and so exhausted. And I just remember thinking like, you know, if it happens, it happens. Honestly, I didn't know how I was going to see tomorrow. Like it just felt like everything was done at that point. Like I was beat, like could not do it. So I was very dehydrated, I guess. Like, you know, when you get kind of delirious and stuff like that. So my grandparents ended up taking me to the emergency room. I stayed at the hospital for like a week and a half after just leaving the hospital. So I was just like very over it. I did not want to be there. I actually checked myself out because I was like, I just can't be here anymore. It's not good for my mental health. And, you know, I kind of had to advocate for myself because they were definitely trying to keep me. They were trying to do unnecessary tests. And just after everything that I've gone through that year, I was like, no, like, I'm not going to be a guinea pig. I'm not going to be something for you guys to, like, sorry, like, learn from. I'm sorry, but, like, I'm not doing it. No, you can't do any tests. No, I'm not staying any longer. Like, I feel better now. I'm hydrated. Thank you. But, like, I'm leaving. Like, I have to go. So, I just told my parents, like, I'm checking myself out. I told my grandparents, you know, come pick me up. Like, it's done. I'm ready to go. I remember being very rude to the nurses that morning because they were kind of slowing down my process because they wanted me to wait for the doctors to come in to talk to me again. And I just remember being like, no, I'm leaving. I don't care what anybody says. And I will literally get out of this bed and walk downstairs without saying anything. I don't care. Like, that's how fed up I was. I felt the depression, like, on my back. Like, I was like, I have to get out of here. There's no way. And I remember when I feel like I was more ready to get out of the hospital that time too, because my hair started to come out and I was just like, I can't do this. Not here. So when I noticed my hair starting to like fall out, it was just like, I don't want to say, I mean, I'm gonna be real, I was losing, you know, self-confidence. Like, I had new, fresh, ugly, unnecessary scars, and now I'm gonna be bald. Like, what? Like, I expected it because, you know, chemotherapy and like losing hair, that they kind of go hand in hand. Even though it doesn't happen to everyone, it mainly happens, so I already expected it. You know, I felt like my head was getting very tender, And, you know, that's a sign that, you know, you're probably going to lose your hair. So I felt different spots in my head. It's getting tender. So it's like, okay, it's coming. But I just didn't know like when, because I would literally like pull at my hair to see if, you know, anything was going to come out. And at the time it wasn't, but it was just very like, my scalp felt pretty raw. So, I noticed like a lot more shedding on my pillows when I was at the hospital, and that's really when I was just like, I gotta get out of here, like this is not happening here. And it was just, I just had to go. It was not good for my mental health, and I knew that. So I left the hospital. I was probably out for like 2 days, and I did not like brush my hair. I didn't really look in the mirror because, you know, I knew my hair was gonna come out, and it was just like very, it was very sad for me because, you know, this is my hair and it was gonna be gone soon, and I knew that. So I kind of avoided it for a little bit, and I don't know, I was just watching TV one night and I was like, it's gotta go. I remember the day, on October 14th, 2019, I decided to cut my hair off. I just got up and I asked my grandma for some scissors, and I went in her bathroom and I just started cutting. I cut my ponytail off, and then I just, you know, I cut it all off, and I didn't tell anybody beforehand. It was kind of spur of the moment. I definitely didn't plan it. It was definitely hard. I definitely cried during the process. I did not look up in the mirror one time. I was cutting my hair with my head down. I was just feeling it and cutting it, feeling and cutting, and I just left it all in the sink. I was very fatigued at the time, so towards the end I asked my grandma to come in and kind of help me, and I don't know, it was just hard. I remember just, I was tired, so I was sitting on the bathtub and I just had my head down and I was just, you know, waiting for it to be over. I didn't want to look afterwards. I remember I just put on a bonnet and I just went back to watching TV, you know, trying to forget about it, and went to bed, and that was that. And that was really hard. Yeah, it was really hard. So I'm very proud of how far we've come, even though it doesn't look like much. It's definitely a lot when you're bald for, you know, 6, 7, 8 months, and then now I have like this little chia pet thing going on. Yeah, I still don't like it. Like, it's whatever, but it's better than being bald, so it is what it is. I just want to be very like real, open and honest and raw. This is me, no makeup. This is what my hair looks like, even though I wear wigs. Like, this is me. I'm definitely not hiding it. But yeah, so I was going through, I ended up being in the hospital for my birthday last year. I would go to the hospital to do my next round of chemo at the end of every month, and my birthday is on Halloween, so it's at the end of the month. I ended up having to spend my birthday in the hospital going through chemo. It was by far the worst birthday I ever had in my life. You know, the nurses were very nice. They brought me a cake, they sang happy birthday, they got me a pink blanket. It was very nice, but just, I was just miserable because, you know, I wasn't with my immediate family. It was hard. It was very hard. I felt very alone. I felt very I just felt sad. I felt sad. But I remember my 5th round, I went through 6 rounds. So my 5th round, I remember being so excited, you know, like, finally one last round of chemo and I'm done. My hair can start growing back. I can start being me again. I couldn't wait. And then the end of January, my grandpa passed away. And it was really hard. Whew. I remember I was on my way to like my follow-up appointment after chemo, and I remember seeing my mom calling me, but I was tired, didn't answer, and then my sister called me right after, and I just knew like that didn't feel normal for some reason. So I decided to call my mom back like right after my sister called me. I didn't answer my sister, and I just called my mom and she told me, and I was devastated because it was really unexpected. And it was hard. And I don't like showing emotions or anything, so you know, I kind of dropped a few tears. I was really sad. But I had to, because the person I am, I had to get myself together for this appointment. I didn't want anybody to see anything wrong with me, so I did that. And the beginning of February, I ended up going back to the Bay Area where we had the funeral, and you know, it was really nice to see all my family, and it just felt really good. I felt like, you know, even though something like very terrible happened, I you know, tried to keep it light. I was like, you know, I just have one more round of chemo and then I can be home. And I was trying to focus on, you know, getting through treatment, even though like I was really sad. I was you know, dealing with depression a little bit from like me not feeling confident, me not feeling like myself, me just being sad. And it was hard. Yeah, so the end of February came. I did my last round. I was very excited. It was one of the happier times just because, you know, chemotherapy was very hard for me. I got my ass beat. Not even gonna lie. Chemo beat me up. Like, she got hands for sure. And I was happy I was able to go back home and, you know, just relax, just recover. So March came, and March was kind of like my resting month, I guess, but I was still anxious to like move forward with the next process. So in April, my great-grandfather passed away in Texas, and that was hard. And it was just like, I just felt like I'm experiencing so many ills right now. Like, this can't be good. Like, I was experiencing a lot of losses, and it was just disheartening, and it was difficult to get through. But, you know, I was just like, I'm just gonna focus on, you know, being my own light. And so I remember my doctor called me on a Sunday, And she was like, sorry to bother you, but you know, we really want to get this taken care of, so you're having surgery on Thursday. And I was just like, what? Like, I can't wrap my head around, you know, going through a surgery in 3 days. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I was definitely ready, but I was definitely like nervous. Like, I don't know what the outcome is going to be after these, like, you know, 3 days. But I was very excited to, you know, like, get this thing out of my body. So, of course, I didn't sleep the night before, really. I was very anxious. You know, COVID was still very fresh, so couldn't have visitors or anything. So my whole family, my immediate family, they came with me to LA, and only my mom was allowed to come in with me to like check in. She was able to stay with me until they took me back for surgery, which was nice. But I knew I would be waking up alone because they weren't allowing anyone to like come into the hospital with me. So that was hard. Knowing that, you know, if you wake up from the surgery, you're going to be alone. And it's like a major surgery, like they're removing my lung. So yeah, and she told me that the surgery was very risky because they didn't know exactly what was going on inside my body. And, you know, they said that, you know, it can go, they have like two plans basically. It can go this way when they get inside, or, you know, worst case, it can go this way, and, you know, they'd have to put me on a bypass machine and all this stuff. It felt very Grey's Anatomy. And I just felt like I'm an episode, and I was just like, well, hopefully I'm the patient that has a good outcome, because, you know, every episode there's a patient that dies and there's a patient that lives. So I was just like, I hope the odds are in my favor, because, you know, I'm going through a very risky surgery, and I didn't know how I was going to feel when I woke up, because, you know, I would be having one lung. I didn't know how that was going to affect my breathing. I didn't know, you know, what to expect waking up out of that. So went through the surgery. It was a very long 12-hour surgery. Of course, I didn't feel that it was 12 hours, but, you know, it was definitely hard for like my family just waiting. My doctor was very good on updating them and, like, you know, saying what part and just like what was happening basically. So I'm very grateful that my surgeon was very mindful of that, you know. And she was probably my favorite doctor, just because you can tell she really cared for me. I know it's her job, but like she went out of her way to the point where my nurses thought she was my mom, because she would like she would call the office, like, you know, the nurse's desk on her off days, and like get updates, and like she would come in and actually check on me. And she was just great 10 stars. But yeah, so I remember waking up, and I was just really anxious for my phone. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I mean, not what was gonna happen, but I was just very anxious for my phone. I wanted to be able to like call and let everybody know that, you know, I'm awake and I'm doing fine, you know, even though I was in a lot of pain and I was on a lot of drugs. But I remember just being like, where's my phone? Like, I think they kind of lost my phone because it took them a while for them to get it to me. And I was just really excited to call and text and just let people know that I'm good. I made it out of surgery. Like, I'm okay. And yeah, I was recovering really well the first day after surgery. And then the second day, I kind of had like a cough that wouldn't go away. I had like a lot of mucus built up around my one lung that I have, so it was very hard to breathe. and I was just like, here we go, a complication. So I remember I had to go through like a bronchoscopy, I think it's called, and I had to do it awake. So it's basically like a tube with a camera and a suction cup that like goes through, they take it down your throat, and it's kind of like a vacuum, and it's like sucking up all the mucus and like just the buildup around your esophagus and your lung, I guess. But like, just imagine someone like sticking like a pin down your throat, and it's like you're swallowing it, all while it's like vacuuming, like sucking up everything like around it. Oh my gosh, that was definitely hard. I felt like I was gagging and throwing up, but like nothing was coming out, and it was really hard. She told me to let her know if I needed a break. I was like, just get it all done right now. In the hospital, I was on very strong drugs. Like, I was taking oxycodone every 4 hours. I was on a ketamine drip, which is like, if you watch Euphoria, and that's the stuff Zendaya took and she was just out. I was on ketamine drip, and propofol, I think that's how you say it, you know, like the stuff that Michael Jackson used to like go to sleep. He called it his magic milk or whatever. So I was on all 3 of those, and like, I have I guess a very strong tolerance, because I still felt pain even being on all of those very, very strong drugs. And I was just really scared I was anxious to leave the hospital because I hate hospitals now. But I was scared because I was like, you know, what am I gonna do if I'm in pain and I'm at home? This is nuts. So of course they sent me home with oxycodone. So I was taking oxycodone at home every 6 hours, and I feel like I got very, like, it didn't happen quickly or anything, but I would say I got very codependent on oxycodone. Like, I was just used to being in this routine of taking it every 6 hours, and, you know, taking it before bed, and like, you know, getting an amazing sleep and not feeling any pain, which was great. But I was, you know, I was just taking my medicine, whatever. But so I have like a big scar on my back where they took out my lung and stuff like that. But I remember I was just like recovering at home and stuff, and like I had to keep getting my oxycodone prescription refilled because I just felt like a lot of pain. And I was just like, you know what, I need the medicine. Like, at this point I need it because I'm in pain. I felt like I was on a very thin line of, you know, being addicted to oxycodone, because, you know, even though I wasn't just taking it just to take it, you know, I was obviously feeling pain. But I remember just feeling like, you know, being scared to like be in pain and not have it. So I feel like, you know, that's kind of like being codependent on like a substance, obviously. So that was kind of scary for me to feel like I needed this medication, you know, a narcotic at that. So I kind of stopped taking it like cold turkey a little bit. It was very hard when I stopped taking it at first, because I was like, you know what, I kind of need it. Like, I'm still feeling pain. But I was just like, no, you're good. So, okay, so that is the second part of my treatment, which is the surgery. And then the last part of my treatment was radiation. So I had to do radiation for about a month and a half, Monday through Friday. My lasts about 20 minutes. I was also scared for that because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was gonna feel pain, like heat. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but it's literally like just being in a CT machine, like just laying on a table and like, I don't know, just laying there for 20 minutes. So every time I was laying there, I was just got into this routine of just like praying and stuff like that. So yeah, I was good for like the first 3 weeks, and then like after that I kind of noticed that it was hard for me to eat because I just felt like a burning sensation like in my chest. It wasn't like heartburn, but it was, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I felt burning. So anything like thicker than water burned and it hurt. So I was just like, just not gonna eat. Like I can't do it. So I had an appetite. I was very hungry, but I was just like, I can't do it. I can't eat. So I, of course, lost weight. I remember like it was so hard to eat like a chicken nugget or like, you know, try to drink a protein shake. It just, everything hurt. So like I ate very minimally, like one time a day, and it would be like 2 chicken nuggets and I'd be done. And that was just really hard because it's like I'm starving and I can't eat anything. July 21st comes around, and that's my last day of radiation. I was so excited, so ready to just, you know, recover again from, you know, my last part of treatment. And I was really excited to just, you know, go home, because this whole time from September to July I would only be home like, you know, like a month, or like in between treatment like a week. So I wasn't really spending that much time at home, and I hated it. I was very depressed. I just wasn't myself. I felt like, you know, my year got taken away from me for sure. I just felt like my time was you know, it wasn't really mine anymore. I was spending it all having to like, you know, deal with health issues. So I felt like all of 24, like all of 23 I was sick, and then all of 24 I was going through treatment, and that was really hard. I just felt like though I had 2 years of my life kind of just taken from me, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be right now. It's really hard because I just don't know. I feel like I'm playing catch up with my own life, and it's a weird feeling because I feel like I am supposed to be recovering right now. You know, I'm not really, it's not any outside pressure. I think it's more pressure from myself and being like, okay, you're done, you're cancer free now, what are you gonna do with your life? And it's just like, I don't know. I was going to use the year right after college to kind of figure that out, and I didn't get to do that. So I just feel kind of lost. I thought I had insomnia, and it just turns out like I am very mild, like I'm experiencing mild depression. Like I don't really have an appetite. I don't want to do, some days I literally just lay in my bed, not even like my TV is on, but I'm not even paying attention to it. I'm just trying to sleep, or I'm just mindlessly scrolling on my phone. I'm taking a lot of naps, and I just lay there all day. And then I feel really bad because I'm just like, you know, I fought to have this life. You know, this definitely wasn't guaranteed. It wasn't promised to me. So when I have days where I'm just feeling down, I feel very guilty because, you know, it's like, what did you go through all of that for? What did you fight for? To like lay in the bed? Is that really what you want to do right now? But it's like, I literally can't get up. I just can't do anything. And it's hard, definitely, because I feel like I'm wasting what I worked for. I don't talk to anyone about it either, so it's just like nobody really knows exactly what I'm going through, because I am, you know, light with everything. I kind of just brush everything off. I don't get too deep into it. And I just feel like this whole experience, I already knew that I was strong. I knew I was strong, like a strong person, before any of this. But I feel like this experience did not make me stronger or anything like that. I feel like it made me more human. I feel more level-headed. I feel like, you know, I'm not ashamed to say I'm a little bit depressed, even though the word still very much scares me. You know, I feel like it's okay for me to be sad sometimes. And I just feel like with, you know, around this time last year is when everything kind of, you know, when I started my treatment process around this time. So it's just like everything's coming back full circle, and I'm just remembering all these dates from what happened last year. And it's kind of bringing me, I don't know if it's bringing me down a little bit, but it's just, I don't know, I'm just feeling like, I honestly don't know what I'm feeling. It's just weird. Like I said, some days I don't want to get up, and some days I'm very excited, and I'm just, you know, I'm thankful every single day that I wake up. It's like very much more so now than I was before all of the health issues. I'm definitely, you know, grateful to be, you know, given another day. But some days I'm just sad and I can't really fight it, and and I feel like that's okay. You know, I earned those days, I feel like, because this is not easy by any means. You know, moving forward, I just feel like I need to get back. I'm definitely not the same person. Of course, I still have like the same hobbies and things like that, but I'm not the same person, and I feel like I need to accept that I'm not the same person, because I feel like I'm still trying to bring back the old Asiah, when in reality she's gone. Like, the old Asiah did not experience anything like this before, anything major. The old Asiah was very, you know, unaware of how much things can change in a year. And I just need to let the old me go and really embrace the new me coming into this new age. I'm turning 25 this month, and that is a big age to me. And I feel like, you know, I was very like kind of pissed off, because I'm like, last time I checked I just turned 23, and now all of a sudden I'm turning 25 and I'm in the same place, like, you know. But it might look the same, but it's definitely not the same. I might look the same, but I'm not the same, and that's okay. Moving forward, I'm just embracing everything how it is, you know. I'm allowing people that I thought would, like, you know, be in my life for a long time or forever, you know, I'm allowing them to leave, and I'm allowing myself to grow. I'm just taking each day, you know, day by day. I'm really letting my feelings, like, you know, show, and I'm really embracing whatever I'm feeling that day. If I'm feeling like I'm in a good mood, then, you know, I want to show that, and I want to live in that, and I want, even though I want every day to be like that, it's not going to be like that. It's not realistic. It's just not going to happen that way. So, but I do definitely take advantage of the days that I'm feeling really good. I like to, you know, make the people around me feel good. I like to laugh. I like to, you know, just enjoy being here, because, you know, with everything that I went through, I didn't know if I was going to have a 25th birthday. I didn't know if I'd be here. You know, it was very uncertain. So, yeah, even though some days are hard, I don't want to talk to anyone, I just want to lay in the bed, that's fine too. But as long as I, you know, don't let that consume me, and as long as I'm trying every single day, that's really all that matters. I'm just excited for this new, you know, season of my life, being 25, being, you know, reaching goals, and just embracing who I am now. I'm not who I used to be, and that's okay for me, I guess. I just feel like I'm ready for whatever now. And I want to embrace the good in my life. I want to embrace the bad. I want to embrace everything, because I worked to embrace everything. And I feel like if you're going through something like this, I just want you to know, like, it's corny, but it is okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to be weak. It's okay to be strong. It's okay to just be you, and however you take things, you know, just always try to look on the bright side, but don't try to feel like the bright side is the only side that you can be on, because going through something that traumatic, you see all sides. You see, you know, it's not just black and white, you know, there's some gray in there as well, and it's confusing, but it's part of the journey, I guess. So I know this video is really long. I definitely got emotional. I'm glad that I didn't get as emotional as I thought I would, but you know, that's me, and I feel like it's very raw, and even though it is something that is a little more touchy for me to talk about, because I just feel like there was a lot going on, like medically and then just personally. I'm better now because of everything that happened. Everything, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm just excited to embrace me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I promise my next video will not be this heavy and this deep, but you know, I am definitely going to be switching my channel around a little bit to be more open. So if you're looking forward to that, I don't know. I definitely can't wait to see what I can create here in this space. And I don't know, let's see what 25 has to offer. I don't know, let's see what I worked for, you know. Let's embrace it. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.